Nobody tells you the truth about owning a dog. They show you the cute videos, the tail wags, the puppy eyes, the golden retriever carrying a stuffed animal to greet you at the door. And look, all of that is real. Dogs are, without question, one of the greatest things that will ever happen to you. But there's a side to dog ownership that almost nobody talks about. Not the vet bills, not the chewed furniture. I'm talking about 3 invisible struggles that sit quietly in the chest of almost every dog owner. And if you've ever felt even one of them, this video is going to feel like someone finally read your mind. Let's start with the one that's probably haunting you right now. Struggle number 1. The never-ending question that follows you from the moment you bring your dog home. Am I doing this right? You research the best food, then someone tells you that food is garbage. You switch, then someone else says the new one is worse. You start training with positive reinforcement because that's what the internet said. Then a different corner of the internet says you're being too soft, that your dog is going to walk all over you, that you need corrections, that you need a prong collar, that prong collars are abuse, that treats are bribery, that you're ruining your dog. And it doesn't stop at training. It starts before you even get the dog. If you bought from a breeder, someone will shame you. Adopt, don't shop, as if that catchy slogan should override months of research. And if you rescued, someone else will warn you that shelter dogs come with baggage. No matter what you do, someone has already decided you're wrong. And that judgment doesn't just live on the internet. It's at the dog park. It's at the pet store when someone glances at your cart. It's in the vet's office when you have to admit you can't afford a $4,000 surgery. The pet community can be incredibly warm, but it can also be one of the most quietly judgmental spaces you'll ever walk into. And here's what hurts the most. You're trying. You're genuinely, honestly trying your absolute best. But the noise is so loud and the opinions are so contradictory that you start to believe the worst possible conclusion. Maybe I'm not a good dog owner. If you've ever felt that way, take a breath. Look at your dog right now. If their tail wags when you walk in the room, you're doing better than you think. But that's only struggle number 1. The second one, it's the one that can actually force you and your dog apart. Struggle number 2. Finding a place to live that will actually let you keep your dog. If you're a renter, you already know this pain. And if you're not a renter, trust me, you have no idea how bad it is. The listing says pet-friendly. Your heart lifts. Then you read the fine print. Dogs under 20 pounds only. Or there's a breed restriction list. Pit bulls, Rottweilers, German Shepherds, Dobermans. Breeds that millions of loving, responsible owners have, banned. Not because of anything your specific dog has done, but because of insurance policies and outdated stereotypes. And for some people, it comes down to an impossible choice. Find a place to live or keep your dog. Let that sink in. There are people right now in every major city who are being forced to choose between a roof over their head and their best friend. Not because they're irresponsible, not because they can't care for the dog, but because the housing market has decided their dog isn't welcome. And the cruelest part? The dogs that get restricted the most are often the ones that were rescued, already abandoned once. Their owners fought to give them a second chance. And now the system is making it nearly impossible to keep that promise. Some owners pay hundreds extra per month in pet deposits and pet rent. Some drive an hour further from work because that was the only apartment that said yes. Some live in worse conditions than they otherwise would, all because their dog is family, and you don't abandon family. If you've been through this or you're going through it right now, I see you. That sacrifice means more than you know. But there is one more struggle left, and honestly, I almost didn't include it, because it's the one that's hardest to say out loud. Before we get into the last struggle, I need to ask you something real quick. If anything in this video has hit close to home so far, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me, but because there are millions of dog owners who feel exactly what you're feeling, and they need to know they're not the only ones. Share this video with a dog owner you know. Drop a comment about your dog. I read every single one. And honestly, your stories are what keep this channel going. All right, let's talk about struggle number 3.
Struggle number 3. Your dog is not going to live as long as you. You know this the day you bring them home. It's there in the back of your mind when they're a puppy destroying your shoes. It's there when they're in their prime, sprinting across a field like nothing could ever slow them down. And then one day, you notice it. They're a little slower on the stairs. They sleep a little longer. Their muzzle has turned white, and you can't remember when that happened. Psychologists have a term for this. They call it anticipatory grief. It's the mourning you do before the loss has even happened. And dog owners carry it for years, sometimes for the entire life of the dog.
You look at them on a perfectly normal Tuesday, and out of nowhere the thought just hits you. I'm going to have to live without you someday. And for many, the hardest moment of their entire life will be sitting in a vet's office making a decision no one should ever have to make, choosing to end their best friend's suffering even though it starts their own. We don't talk about this enough. We don't talk about the owners who drive home from that appointment and sit in their car in the driveway because they're not ready to walk into a house that's suddenly too quiet. We don't talk about the people who reach down to pet a dog that isn't there anymore. And yet, knowing all of this, knowing the grief that's coming, knowing it from day one, dog owners do it anyway.
They deal with the judgment. They fight for housing. They carry the grief. Because the love of a dog, even a short, chaotic, imperfect, heartbreaking stretch of it, is worth every single second. If you're a dog owner and you've ever felt overwhelmed, judged, or heartbroken, you're not alone. You never were. Give your dog an extra pat tonight. They don't know about any of these struggles. They just know you came home. If this video hit close to home, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more like this, subscribe. We'll be here.